This pre-built right here is using the GTX 1630, and we're not sure why.
The GTX 1630 is a really hated graphics card. Why in the world would there be a pre-built gaming PC using that graphics card? Well, we bought it to find out, and we're gonna open it up after a word from today's sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by our friends at GVG Mall. Listen up, guys. If you're a new PC builder or just somebody with an unactivated copy of Windows on your gaming PC, you definitely should listen up because GVG Mall is the go-to place to get Windows 10, Windows 11, and even more game keys.
Activating Windows is much easier than you might think. All you have to do is use the link in the description down below to go to GVG Mall, use code TB20 to save quite a bit of money, buy the key that you need for your PC, and then all you gotta do is copy and paste that code and boom, you now have an activated version of Windows.
At GVG Mall, they also have access to Office keys for those who want to pay for the Microsoft 365 suite. You can get those as well from GVG Mall, and we just love using GVG Mall to activate our personal rigs and also computers we test here on the YouTube channel. And whether you're rocking Windows 10 or Windows 11, they have you covered and will save you a ton of money over buying an OEM key. So definitely check that link down below to take advantage of the awesome deals that GVG Mall has to offer. And big shout out again to GVG Mall for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get into it.
Honestly, box looks pretty good compared to some of the other pre-builts we've gotten.
So yeah, this is a new pre-built from Amazon. Sometimes, you know, I get tired of looking at the STGs and all the other ones that appear on the front page. This one was a deep diver. Took a little while to find this one, but it features an i7 6700 and a GTX 1630, which is an interesting configuration.
Is this brand familiar to the listing?
Yes, Acuvin is the name of the company, and they seem to have branded peripherals.
Definitely a super familiar looking keyboard and mouse. I feel like we have seen these countless times, basically just like a white label. So they're all getting them from the same company and then just adding their own branding. But I will open them up for you guys because I know some people are gonna run these, you know? Let's see it in all. Okay, so we get a mouse pad.
Oh, mouse pad. That was a wrist rest. I was like,
that would have been crazy. Membrane keyboard, just straight like static RGB probably.
It's one of these forbidden mice.
Yeah, we've seen these things so many times. Like when we did that Walmart mouse roundup, I feel like we saw like 20 of those.
Yeah, so very basic, but hey, you know what? They at least include it, so it's something. And the computer is packaged in interesting foam. Yeah, and it's very small too.
Power cord.
Power cord.
Cool. Pretty
like this little like shock absorbing.
Yeah.
And it'll like it'll bump and go boom. All right. So you got the computer, and we also got a baggie that says TechDale. Shout out to TechDale with a Wi-Fi and RGB remote.
So, from the back, this just looks like an HP. You know what I mean?
You know, it does look like a pavilion or something like that. It doesn't really scream gaming tower.
Actually, yeah, well, you know what? Okay, this is weird. And it's a built-in I/O shield. This is like some type of...
Hold on, did they just replace the front panel with something different? Is this an office computer, like an Optiplex?
Dude, that's actually a really good theory because this...
I think it is.
This is looking, I mean, that looks like an Optiplex button. Like, everything is screaming Optiplex.
There has to be some... Okay, so there's a tag right there. They wouldn't leave the Optiplex tag.
We're gonna open this up and get to the bottom of it. But yeah, on paper, this doesn't look like a gaming system. It looks like a acid green pavilion or like a Dell Optiplex.
And for comparison, this is what the listing looks like. If you looked at this on first glance, you probably would have thought, oh, that's just an interesting custom case. That's not really a modded Optiplex, which is, I'm gonna say it's a modded Optiplex.
Okay, so I still see no branding. This is kind of baffling.
Why would they go
now.
through this effort though?
But like, I'm wondering, is there an effort, or are these large companies, are they just white labeling products too? You know, it makes you wonder. Dell.
Dell.
Right, Dell Power Supply.
So Dell Power Supply. So this has to be an Optiplex.
Yeah, Dell Power Supply. Is this the Dell motherboard? Is there any branding on here? Let's see.
Okay, hold up. What's with the RGB RAM?
Yeah, that's like a total waste. It's Viper. I mean, it's actually like a name brand. I don't see Dell on this motherboard, but I'm like 99% confident this is a Dell board. I mean, it's definitely an OEM board.
It has to be.
You can tell that much.
It has to be a Dell motherboard. This has to be one of like the newer gen Dell boards.
And I almost have to wonder too if maybe Dell was written here and they covered it with a Windows sticker. You know, like right there.
It could be. This is weird. I was not expecting this. I was expecting just a really cheap budget case, not a modded Optiplex that is kind of tricked to be a, well, new gaming case. I don't know. This is weird.
The graphics card says MS GeForce GTX 1630 4GB/64-bit GDDR6.
MS.
And at first I'm thinking MSI, but that is not. This is not an MSI card.
That's a different company.
This is all kinds of weird so far. And then what are we rocking for storage? A SanDisk. Right. So it's a SanDisk SSD. I'm almost wondering if maybe these were almost like COVID era, where it's like, you know, people taking the cards, or maybe they had no card to begin with, and they bought these as like bare bones, where like they added their own RAM, they added their own storage, they added their own graphics card, and all it came with was the power supply, motherboard, and cooler and CPU, which I have seen before, people selling these in bulk on eBay.
Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, full specs again, i7-6700, so 4-core 8-thread, which is pretty standard in this era of Optiplex. The 1630, 32 gigs of DDR4 memory, RGB, a little excessive if I say so myself, and that 1634 gig, and we did pay $489 for this.
One thing I'm excited for y'all to see is another example of just way too much RAM for no reason. You guys are gonna see, and watch it use like 20 gigs in most games, but typically the most we will ever see out of like a lower end system like this is like 11 gigs used. So they really could have gone 16 and saved us a lot of money and saved themselves money. But this is just a typical marketing tactic where people see RAM and they think, oh, that means way more FPS and performance.
This thing's fully vinyl wrapped too.
Oh yeah.
It's got the full vinyl all the way
So that's how they were
across.
probably able to kind of hide some of the other branding. Man, this is a first for us. I've never seen a company, we've seen them take the old HPs and like the slim towers and stuff, but I've never seen them take like the integrated board style like this and turn it into something different.
This is different. This is almost reminds me of a Peripherio situation where they replaced the whole front panel and, well, a company stole that. So, yeah. But we're going to plug it up real quick and see what it looks like. We're straight RGB, guys. Straight gas. Gotta do this peel. Oh,
right.
wait. Hold up. It turned off. I'm going to do this. Here we go.
I gotta see this thing.
Oh, is it Infinity?
Actually not ugly. I mean, I actually like this whole, I don't really know if there's airflow. I think it's fake.
It has to be fake airflow.
Well, it is, because that's a solid panel behind it. It looks cool.
It looks cool, but it's not really giving much value. That Infinity is freaky looking.
This is really weird. I mean, the card is weird. The fact that it's a 6th Gen i7 with 32 gigs of RGB DDR4 RAM. I mean, Jonah, check out the RGB RAM right now, man. Can you see it? It goes hard.
Oh, sick.
Well, I will say an important thing to mention is the other spec ranges. You could have gotten this with a 1630, a 1050 Ti, or a 1650, or an RX 550. You could have gotten it with an i5 8500, an i7 6700, an i7 7700, or an i7 8700. So there's a wide range of these on Amazon that are in stock right now. And yeah, I don't know. This is just interesting. It has to just be modded office computer.
Jonah, what do you think about the RGB RAM now? Does it look pretty good?
Do you see it?
Yeah, looks great, man.
Yeah.
McAllister put it right there.
This is the one time where we needed a company to make an acrylic panel for this, but I guess let's just game on it. I don't think we're gonna use these peripherals because we've used these same ones like 1,000 times.
Please,
and they're horrible.
please don't put me through that pain and suffering ever again.
I'm excited to see what type of cent per point this PC gets, because I don't think it's gonna be very good.
So I was just going to leave for the day and get stuff downloading on this, well, interesting computer, and I noticed something that really confused me. I was setting up MSI Afterburner and it was showing all the cores that the CPU had, the i7-6700. It said it only had 4 cores and 4 threads. So I checked Task Manager and sure enough, this 6700 is reading out as a 4-core, 4-threaded processor, which is absolutely not what an i7-6700 is. They probably enabled a setting in the BIOS to disable hyperthreading, which I don't know why they would do that, or they just didn't go through the effort to check it, and this is like an Optiplex that maybe some business disabled hyperthreading because they wanted to cut back on the temperature profile of the CPU. Hyperthreading is not enabled, so we're gonna try to get into the BIOS here. I'm gonna go ahead and restart. We'll just do this live. I'm gonna try to get into the BIOS and see if I can reset that in any way. Without hyperthreading, that just normal quad core is gonna be a pretty big bottleneck. The 4-core 8-thread does make a pretty decent difference. So we'll see if I can get into the BIOS. And yep, just as I expected, hyperthread control is set to disabled. So I don't really know why they did this. I'm assuming it's temperature related. We'll find out if there's something wrong with this in terms of like the temperature profile, but we're gonna go ahead and apply that, restart, and make sure that fixed it, but I believe it will fix it. And yeah, kind of weird. That is definitely a fatal flaw, and if that's something that's happening across all their systems with i7s, they definitely are going to have a problem on their hands in terms of people getting really bad performance compared to what they paid for. So let's go ahead and get into Windows and verify this has actually worked. Ah yes, that is the i7-6700 I remember, 4-core 8-thread. Let's just get to gaming, I guess. All right, gamers, we're kicking things off with Fortnite at 1080p DX11 performance settings, which is basically far view distance, low textures. And we're playing on DX11 mainly because we're running a GTX 1630, which we really don't want to be running on DX12 because NVIDIA GPUs don't like it nearly as much. And I'm not running performance settings because I just had up and down issues in terms of performance mode with these budget PCs. But we'll see what happens when we land here. I did lock the frame rate to 120 because before we started filming, I did a run to see if it would be very stuttery, and it was most certainly stuttery. So we'll see if things settle out once we land here, but so far it's looking a bit smoother than my first drop. But it's still not great, I'll be honest with you. Just like the 1630, it ain't great. And it's a very weird choice. The only thing I could think of for them using this GPU is they've maybe got a good deal from a supplier, a bulk buy situation, but who really knows, to be honest. Yeah, run! Oh God. Ah! Bro, where'd you come from? Oh, hey, what's up? Hey, let's go. Oh my God, Matt, what was that? Hey, Ultimate Steve, you're done. But hey guys, that's Fortnite. At times, as you can see, we're getting down into the 60s and 70s, which is more GPU bound, and then at times we're getting 100, so it's an okay Fortnite experience, but I don't think it's a $400 plus Fortnite experience. Not a great configuration in my opinion, and look, stutter there, stutter there. It's okay, but it's not awful. Let's move on to the next game.
All right, guys, we are playing Apex Legends at 1080p max FOV and pretty much a low preset. I'm getting shot, and yeah, you know, we didn't really want to push this thing too hard because, as you can see, we're getting like 60 FPS with some screen tearing, and you know, it's a legendary graphics card, guys. Legendary for being not desirable.
Yeah, and I gotta look up the current price of this card right now, because the only thing I can think of is this company got a really good deal on like bulk purchasing.
Or it's all they could buy in bulk, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe they couldn't afford much more, I don't know.
How much is the 1630 right now? They're $160. Wait,
I really hope they didn't pay that.
Wait, here's one for 134.
See, that's more expensive than a 1650.
Yeah, they're like 130 to some of them are like 160, but I think that's like dead stock. So like, I mean, why? You know, even though like a 6500 XT would like run circles around this at like the same price right now.
What?
Oh. Yup.
90.
9 or 90, no in between.
Yeah. I got you.
Oh, 99?
I got 99 problems and a shotgun ain't one. Oh. I was bold for that.
Oh.
It's kind of fire.
He got him.
Psych.
Here comes. Oh no!
Oh my God, I wasn't one of them. Holy crap. Ah!
You're the last
man,
one!
What is my body doing? I don't get how the game just randomly started looking like it was bad quality randomly, but I guess that's just low settings Apex, but
Jeez.
I mean, barely 60 FPS on this configuration. Go ahead and go to the next game, but so far, the price per point, I do not think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, we'll see what 3D Mark Time Spy looks like, and we'll run some other games.
All right, guys, well, we got done benchmarking this pre-built, and it definitely did not turn out great. The one time that we ever used a 1630, we did not enjoy it at all. The price doesn't make sense, the performance doesn't make sense, we don't even know why it came to the market at the price that they're listing it for, and we're kind of curious why they're even using it in the system to begin with.
And regardless of that, this PC had some weird things, like the i7 having hyper-threading disabled by default, so we had a 4-core, 4-threaded processor, losing performance, which we did turn on and fix ourselves, but if you're a customer and you get this thing, you're gonna be like, what the heck is going on here? But we did run some other benchmarks other than the games we did test, and we did run the finals, 1080p low settings with FSR, which did help a ton actually, and we got 60 FPS, few dips here and there, so that was somewhat playable. Cyberpunk, however, 1080p low settings with no FSR, we just wanted to see the raw horsepower of that 1630, we only got a 28 FPS average, and the 3D Mark Time Spy score was not great. We ended up getting a score of 2,217, which is a 22 cent per point score, which has to be the worst rating we've had for pre-builts in terms of price per point point on the channel since we implemented this system. So all in all, a very weird pre-built that doesn't have good bang for the buck. I think the 1630 is really the big thing that's holding it back. But if you want to shop around at other configurations of this PC, you can check the link down below. We'll be in a affiliate link. It will help us out. Let us know what you think of this PC down below, and would you pick one up or being a little too harsh on it? But I don't know, the 1630 seems to be a big problem in this system.
So as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toastybros. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.
This PC right here will be for sale at PCBros.tech with a nice little discount for you guys.
And it's fixed. It has hyper-threading. It's good to go, but yes, it will be discounting compared to the price we paid for, just like all the PCs we feature on the channel at PCBros.tech. Use code ToastyBros2 on checkout to save 2% on your next purchase. See you guys later. Goodbye.
Peace out.